Man, I'm glad you got here before me. Alright guys, this is day 2 of this particular show. I just met up with an actual club member of mine, Jesse Halverson. That camaraderie out on the water is as important to me as actually fishing and catching fish. And you know, us boaters as a general rule, they tend to stick together and help each other out when we need. And it's good to see somebody else besides myself out on a brutal day like today. It's not as bad as it was last week when I began this show. I have changed lakes. I started on Lake Katoma. I decided to move to Ingram's Lake just to try to catch me a big old fat largemouth and enjoy some time in the outdoors. I don't know if we'll catch one today or not. Got a little late start as usual. It's already pushed over past, it's probably, I'm gonna say it, I'm not exactly sure, it's gotta be past 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is not the best time to begin your fishing trip, but I go when I can. Try to make the best of it and figure out what I like to think of as a great big puzzle. Figure out where the fish are and what they'll bite, and having a tip or two from another angler always helps out if you can get them to talk to you. And that's why I always try to tell everybody exactly what I catch fish on, because I hope at some point it pays off and that information comes back to me, and it does a lot. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on each place. I'm going to throw a jig in and work it across some of these places that Jesse mentioned, these places that run out toward the deep water and get close to where it should drop off. And he's got the same problem today that I've got and had for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I've been having issues with my fish finder, my depth finder, and come to find out it wasn't actually the unit itself. I had a broke wire, and so I've got to get that straightened out where I know exactly where my depths. I don't use it so much like many fishermen do spotting fish, but I like to know the depth change. I'm a little more old school as far as that goes. The depth change to me is as important as about anything in fishing. When you can find that magic depth that they seem to be holding at, it does wonders for your fishing and your ability to get bites in tough conditions, such as the heat of the summer or either the dead of winter like we are now. Fortunately, Jesse and I both have fished this lake enough that we know areas that slope off gradually down into the deep water. And he's had some success today. I don't know if I'll match his success, but I am very proud that a friend of mine has got out on this cold winter day and caught some bass. Right where Jesse said. Oh my God, please let that be on camera. Thank you, Jesse, for a humongous tip. A huge bass. Oh Jesus. Okay, if I don't land him, you can at least look at him. This is an absolute giant. Oh, I gotta have a little slack for this head waller. Easy, easy, easy. Oh, she's wetting me. Easy, baby. Oh, I don't want to break my line off. Got her. Woo. I told you, Jesse. Throw that jig, buddy. Look at this. This is an absolute giant. Brent Quick, if you're listening, buddy, thank you for making me the most wonderful jigs in the world. Cream, for making the best trailers in the world. I don't even know what to tell you. That's 6-7 pounds or better. Very heavy. Good look at that. I want a picture of that one. That is so beautiful. That's why you fish in the winter. Let's put her back. Oh, she's gonna flop on me. Don't do it. It's wet. It's cold. Whew. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesse, for giving me that tip on where to start. My third spot produced. It's so good to have friends. And buddy, I promise you, if I get on something, I will relay that message to you. That has made my day. I do owe you a pack of jigs. I remember now. And I will make, oh, still got a scale on my jig. Did not even touch my line. Nothing. That's like when you're playing basketball and you make a good shot. Nothing but net. Nothing but hook. That was so, and that was not that light of a hit. That was a pretty good smack. And I double checked it was something I should not do jig fishing, is I double checked it like I was worm fishing. Because so many times when this bass will hit a jig, they suck it in and that's what you feel, but they also blow it right back out if they realize it's not real. It's not like with a plastic worm that they have to fill up for a minute. These jigs are made out of metal and they're heavy, and they know pretty quick, hey, this is fake. But when you're jig fishing and you feel that bite, my best advice is to set that hook immediately. Don't fool around, don't check them. And I'm in a bad habit because I worm fish so much. But I'm gonna put this one back out there again. I don't know how many big fish will be holed up on a single point. I know later on in the year, early in the spring, you can have 6 or 8 of those big girls all up on one point, waiting to spread out, and they'll be staging, is what it's called, getting ready to move to the bank to spawn. Right now they're in winter mode. I don't know how many may be stacked on this one point, but it's worth another cast or two before I move on to another point. I don't want to spend a lot of time on each point because I'm going to lose daylight here in an hour or so, and I want to cover 2 or 3 points, and then I want to cover some laydowns. I know Jesse didn't do that well on laydowns today, but I think these fish transition back and forth sometimes in the winter. I think they run up and down and stick closer to cover on toward night. I think the daytime drops them off into the deeper water along the edges a little more. Just my opinion. Everybody's got opinions, and last week my opinion wasn't worth a lot. I zeroed. I don't zero that much, but it happens. Bill Dance zeros too. Don't let him fool you. He got more money than I do. He can spend 3 weeks to catch a fish. I can't. So Bill, if you're listening, I could use a few tips for cold water fishing. And that fish, that bass did not hesitate. It took that whole jig in its mouth, craw and all. And that's what you want. You don't want them hesitating. You want a bait that they really will commit to. And fishing a jig in cold water is one of those big baits, or A lot of them are big baits. What I meant to say was these are big bass baits. I just don't catch many little fish all winter. But the fish I catch are generally quality fish, 3 pounds plus. And I am back in some structure again. I'm gonna give it this last cast and work that structure and just bang it off that wood down there. Oh, that's one of those I was not sure about. When you're unsure, set the hook. It does not cost a dime. But if you don't set the hook, that fish will blow it back out and you'll miss a great opportunity. There's a bite off the end of a tree. Oh, where you going? It's in my anchor rope. Oh, get out of the rope. Another good fish. Look at here, boys and girls. Oh, easy baby. Oh, he's wetting me in this cold water. Gotcha. Brent Quick, there you go, buddy. There's your jig. Mulberry River jigs are hard to beat. There's my colors I'm using. A little purple, blue looking, green flake. Got a green pumpkin craw. Another quality fish out on this beautiful, windy, cloudy winter day. That's not quite as heavy as that other one, but that is a very decent fish. Now that one was off the edge of a tree. Back, oh good Lord, don't do that. That will definitely put the adrenaline to flowing.